You and I are going to do a little experiment. I'm going to say a sentence and I want you to fill in the blanks. When I get, then I'll be, for example, when I get this job, then I'll be happy. When I lose this weight, then I'll start dating. When I make this much money, then I'll travel the world. I'm very familiar with those when then statements because I have spent years of my life waiting for the next win to finally start living. And I'm tired of it. I've been trapped in what I call the win cycle. When I have this, when I make this money, when I live here, when I lose this weight, when I reach this milestone, then my real life would begin. That is problematic. I was treating my life like a problem to be solved instead of seeing it as a place to be lived. I had this mental checklist. When I get X, Y, Z, I'll finally be living my dream life, completely forgetting at one point where I was right then was the dream. Because I was so busy chasing milestones that when I did achieve something on the dream list, I was already focused on the next win. Or worse, I dismissed what I accomplished because it didn't look exactly how I imagined it would. My perfect example, I wanted to live abroad, so I moved to Scotland for my master's degree. I was literally living my dream life, the one I had written about in journals, the one I had pictured since I was a little kid. But because I couldn't make it work long term, I labeled it as a failure instead of celebrating that I was actually living my dream life. So how do you make it stop? How do you break these win cycles? Well, I'm gonna tell you a story, but first, let's get a little cozy. Earlier this year, life handed me an unexpected pause in the form of a layoff. And that layoff became a doorway to everything I had been avoiding. See, burnout, caregiving responsibilities, and massive change stripped away the version of me who thought the next achievement would finally make life real. And listen, there is nothing like unemployment to make you sit with yourself and rewire the belief that your job defines your worth. I was gifted with the opportunity to think, okay, Renee, what do you actually want next? And that's when it hit me. I was always chasing the next thing. So I decided to try to do something different. I went back and looked at all of my dream lives I wanted over the years. What I realized blew my mind looking at that list. I had actually lived a lot of my dream life, but I either dismissed it because it didn't look exactly how I envisioned it, or I was so busy rushing to the next goal that I never stopped and appreciated what I already achieved. Here's the truth that changed everything. Your younger self dreamed of the life you're living right now. Your current self deserves to inhabit it fully, and your future self will be proud you stayed present for the becoming. And you're like, that's great. That's a needlepoint quote. Good job. How does that apply to me? Because listen, I've been there. I've watched the videos about how to achieve your dream life.
5 steps to get here, manifestation this, journaling that.
And I've been at the point where I'm like, I don't know how to do this. That's great for you, but like, how does this work for me? So here's what I did. And I think it's pretty easy. I want you to stop waiting. I stopped rushing towards the next chapter and started paying attention to the one I was already living. In that stoppiness, what I found was that in that pause, there wasn't emptiness. It wasn't boring. This messy middle that is most of our life wasn't where I got stuck. It's where I finally came alive. Your dream life isn't a destination. It's not a stop on the train of life. Why are we rushing towards that? I don't need my dream life to look like the perfect Pinterest aesthetic. I need it to feel real to me. And so that is taking time in the morning for a slower morning routine, spending time in my garden, taking trips up the coast, starting this YouTube channel. This is me showing up for myself and not waiting for when. I'm going to do it messy and imperfect and realizing that this is my one true life. And that's what this channel is about. It's choosing presence over postponement, finding meaning in the uncertain spaces, and remembering that the life you're living right now isn't practice for your real life. This is your real life. You don't need me to tell you to live your life fully. You don't need a permission slip. But if you're looking for one, I will gladly hand it to you. The in-between isn't a waiting room. It's where you become who you're meant to be. And no, you don't have to do it alone. I'll be right here, learning how to inhabit my life right alongside you. Whether I'm sharing my morning thoughts over coffee, documenting the ordinary magic of slow days, sharing travel stories, or talking about the courage it takes to stop chasing the next win. The invitation is simple. Stop waiting, start living, right here, right now, exactly as you are. Because this is our space over here on this little quiet corner of the internet. What is one win you can stop waiting for today? And if this resonated with you, I'd love for you to like it, maybe even subscribe. More conversations about living life fully in the messy middle.